could always have our theme song playing at the start.
All right,
as you're keeping.
We
Crap
are
like that.
We are live.
Okay.
I think so.
5, 4, 3, 2, beep.
All right, we're live. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, live from Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, and somewhere in Houston, you mothers.
That's,
the
wait a minute.
Outsiders.
No, it's not very patriotic, John. You can do better than that.
Those are all
No,
battleground.
No,
Yeah,
Philadelphia, Boston. Let's come on, roll it back a little bit.
All right, here we go. All right. Well, we can do better.
You can do better.
All right.
Mount Rushmore.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, live from Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. What?
And Mount Rushmore? What are you doing, John?
Philadelphia is not in Philadelphia.
No, it's not. Let's take it from the top one more time.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, live from Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and somewhere high atop Mount Rushmore, you mothers, is the Video Game Outsiders podcast. And now, here's one of your hosts, Michelle.
Welcome to episode 518 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison, gamertag Coastal Michelle.
And I, of course, am your Uncle John.
Uncle John?
Yeah, like Uncle
that sounds
Sam.
Creepy. Yeah, but Uncle John is not a lap I want to sit on.
Come here, kids. Sit on Uncle John's lap.
Yes, I had an Uncle Dan. Didn't like that either.
So, yes, I am John Jacobson, also Black Dog 7, also John from John's Arcade, John from John Sucks at Video Games, and John from The John Show. And we are here celebrating a very patriotic VGO. Michelle, you know, I noticed that you're wearing a top hat.
I am. It's actually painted red, white, and blue because, you know, I'm very festive. I get into these holidays.
Now,
I
listen,
did not do the fireworks thing.
No
so don't even ask.
Yeah, no sparklers. Just come on.
No sparklers? How much did you drink for this 4th of July?
I didn't, actually.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. When I moved out here to Massachusetts, like, because, like, in Illinois, it was kind of easy to get fireworks. Could you just go to Wisconsin? And that was kind of a thing. And we always would have, like, a stash of fireworks, like, left over from Wisconsin trips. And then, I came to Massachusetts, and I'm like, okay, I want to get fireworks. And we go to Connecticut because they have these pop-up fireworks stores.
Yes, I lived there for, like, 30 years, I know.
Oh, my God, what a fucking joke those stores are, though. It was just
they're not real fireworks.
No!
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, why go through the effort of opening this temporary store in this mall?
We were very into sparklers in Connecticut.
That's all it was.
Yes, just very into sparklers. I remember being a little girl running around with them. Anything that's like safe and harmless. And now that I'm out here in Southern California, I don't hear fireworks because of the fire risk. So I like it because all they do is scare dogs and talk about that
oh my God, because like my neighborhood right now, like the last like 2 nights, it sounds like it sounds like gunfire, like all night long.
It's like you're storming the beaches of Normandy. I never liked fireworks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty to look at, but.
And my dog is just flipping out.
Yeah.
He's just like on guard. His cackles are all raised, and he's just like looking around, and he's on edge. Yeah. Is that what it's called? Cackle? What?
You mean his back coat, like his fur?
Yeah, his cackles.
I don't think I know what that is. Anyway, did you eat a hot dog and do anything festive, or did you just play games?
I grilled today. I actually grilled all weekend. So tonight I grilled chicken and shrimp. How about you?
I grilled hot dogs. Yeah, it's kind of like a 4th of July thing. I don't know why, but I did not celebrate in any other way. I don't do the fireworks, and I tried to look for some festive games to play, but I'll talk about that more during my 10-second spotlight. But of course, if you want to find us during the week, the best spot to do that is riotcast.com and videogameoutsiders.com. And you can listen to our show live Tuesdays from 9 to 11 Eastern on youtube.com/VGOcast. And we gave away, we were doing a competition rather for a free year of VGO Premium. The winner we're going to announce later in the show, but I think we have a voicemail, John, somebody that didn't want to enter but had some comments about the subject.
Yes. All right, let's play that voicemail. Again, 520-FEEL-VGO. Anytime during the week, send us a voicemail. 520-FEEL-VGO.
Hi, John and Michelle. This is Jake, gamertag Mr. Awesome. And I know you asked to have people call in and give their reasons why they need the VGO scholarship. to attend VGO University. But I don't need that. I'm actually calling to say that I'm going to start paying the $2 a month. And I'm going to tell you why. The last couple episodes have been really good. And they've been really good because it's had this arc of John where he starts off the show so hyper and so positive and so ready to do the show. And then by about mid-show, we have some kind of breakdown, usually triggered by Michelle, which thank you, Michelle. And by the end of the show, John's in a depressed state, and Michelle has to finish the show herself because John won't talk. And I want to know what happens in the episode that gets recorded right after that. And I can't because it's locked. And I think for $2 a month to find out what kind of depressed, antidepressant, liquor-induced state that John must be in to start the next episode, it's worth paying $2 a month to find out just what he's like on that next episode you tape. So I'm going to pay the $2, keep your scholarship, give it to someone who really needs it, you know, in these hard economic times. Love the show, love you guys. Thanks a lot. See ya.
So, yeah.
What happened last week, John? There was a little bit of a fallout. People were concerned.
No, there was no fallout. And the thing is, it's true, though. Yeah. I mean, if you want to hear what happens after the show,
yes,
you do need to subscribe to the app. But
yep.
Nothing happened last week at all.
It's very funny, though, because when you listen to our after shows, they're almost like we're kind of like spent from VGO, and we're like kind of very relaxed, and our tones are definitely different. So if you've never listened to one of the after shows, check it out, because I kind of think they're good. They're different.
It is
different.
We're a
little more serious, actually.
It's low key. It is. We get very serious.
Yeah, it's very low key. We do. We don't goof around like we do on this show.
That's right. So anyway. Yeah, the app's on iOS and Google Play. So, all right, we got a lot of ground to cover here.
Do we? Because, you know, I've been looking for, like, interesting news this week, and I want to see if you came up with anything, because I came up with a couple of stories. I don't know, John. I hate to, like, not hype up the show, but...
Yeah, well, it's slow.
For new, like, VGO, I'm sorry, like, video game news?
It's slow right now.
It's slow.
I mean,
we have an interesting bonus topic tonight. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency.
We are.
And what's been going on with, like... all this shit and mining for coins and like the graphics card market. It's actually quite interesting. I know it sounds technical and tedious, but we're going to kind of learn about it together. So stay tuned for that after the show or whatever on our app or something like that. So let's just jump right into it, though, because I know your friend Matt is joining us later. Your Kill Screens band member.
That's
your
right.
Bestie, your Switchies love.
My
Matt
Switchies
McCarthy.
love. Hopefully, yes, I just got a message here from him, and he says okay.
Great. He is confirmed. We dragged him from 4th of July weekend to join us.
So, yeah. So, all right, why don't we just get into our 10-second spotlight? Each of us has 10 seconds to tell the world we're playing, drinking, and anything else we want to cram into a very stupid and fictional 10 seconds. Going first, of course, the queen of the ball, Misha.
So, like I said, I tried very hard to find 4th of July kind of type games. I was Googling games where the British die. You know, I was Googling all sorts of things like best 4th of July games, and I couldn't really come up with anything. I mean, there's some lists out there, and I know like you talked about one that I think you're going to mention that you didn't end up playing, but they're all like, of course, military war games and stuff. But I was trying to see if there was anything themed with fireworks. And then I happened upon the summer update for Planet Coaster, which I know you mentioned, John. And this was a game that I was sort of addicted to for a while. If you don't remember, I think it's out for everything but the Switch, and you basically build not only coasters, but you know, your whole theme park and a whole theme to your theme park. And so they released a pack for the summer, which is all Uncle Sam, all fireworks. You know, it's just a lot of crazy stuff you could do. It added some more scenarios that you could do, some other like side quests and crap. So I checked it out, and it's definitely got that summer kind of fireworks and 4th of July feel I was going for.
It looks good. Like I got
out of my system. It is. I mean, this is a quality game. I've mentioned it before, and I recommend it. I think it's on sale still if you're getting it on PC for the Steam sale. I think it's like down to $20 or something like that, and it will be until tomorrow. So they do these free updates, and Frontier is a good company, and people are pretty happy with what they're doing. So they do these constant kind of free updates, and I do like seeing holidays celebrated like that. Like I said, a lot of games that we've played celebrate holidays in weird ways. Sometimes they just do, cheesy little events, but to give you like a free pack, and I think they did one for Christmas last year of just sort of like a new way to play your game, but with all this other art, all this other what are you doing looking at pictures of Tom Cruise? Please get that off the screen. Or on the 4th of July. I did not like that movie.
No, I barely remember that movie, to be honest. He's in a wheelchair and he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Is that the whole movie, basically?
I think he was an angry veteran, but it didn't work for me. Something was off of that. I think it was the hair.
Yeah.
I did not really like the weave he was rocking.
But I'm also, I confuse it with like Forrest Gump and Private Dan or whatever the fuck his name.
How can you confuse that with Forrest Gump?
No, Lieutenant Dan was like the same character, right? As this guy?
I guess. Lieutenant Dan was like, I don't know. I like that better, though. Tom Cruise, with a weave was not doing it for me. I didn't buy it. So yeah, it's called the summer update for Planet Coaster. So I checked that out. And then I passed the Metronomicon, which is the game I talked about to high hell last week, so I won't go over that, but I was kind of sad because I passed it. But they do like daily quests that you can do every day when you log in, which I thought was kind of
cool. Are those
cool.
kind of artificial, like just auto-generated quests?
Money. Yeah, I think they are. I think they probably generate like one a day, and they kind of give you a goal just to kind of keep it fresh. But I mean, the soundtrack's so good, I kind of like doing it anyway. I just like to go listen to the song. So a couple of people reached out to me and said they picked it up and they love it. So I wanted to give a shout out to them. And really, like I said, I played PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The new patch looks great. Of course, everything plays smooth and it looks a lot better.
It does.
It's definitely a good time for the game with that patch. But most of my time this past week, even though I hunted for new stuff to play, was back playing a game I haven't played in a long time, and that was World of Warcraft. Because, what is more America than Red versus Blue, 4th of July, so Alliance versus Horde. I played a lot of Battlegrounds. They also had a patch 7.2.5. They added a new raid, a new dungeon, and I've really just been doing a lot of catch up with this game. So I know every time I talk about Warcraft, it kind of gets people rolling their eyes, but it's weird. Every time I jump into this game, I remember that there are still millions and millions of people playing this game. It has not died for some people. It's still one of the most popular games. It's still this living, breathing world. And, even though I stepped away for maybe 6 months or something like that, to come back and just be able to always step right in and know what's going on and just kind of, they do a very good job hand-holding in Warcraft, which I know you're going to talk a little bit about later when you talk about the Zelda DLC. Yeah. And I want people to keep that in mind when I talk about kind of what's going on with Warcraft. So every time kind of there's something new that happens, something pops up on the screen, a quest will say, hey, go here, do this, instantly on your map. It tells you where to go. It tells you what to do. So even if you don't play a lot, you always know like where to go and what to check out. So you never feel lost and confused. I think it's very...
No, and the thing is, throughout the years and the time, they've pushed that stuff even more in front of you. Like the quest logs and the box in the top right, like all that shit that always tells you what to do, because that's the problem with the game, is that when you go away and come back, you're like, where was I? And then, well, it tells you. It's very, very obvious what to do in that game.
And I know we got a really long voicemail, which I will probably play on one of my bonus shows on the app, but it's definitely too long for VGO. But one of the questions that he asked was, what are some of the good PC exclusives? Because you guys are always talking about, he said, I won't shit myself because you guys mentioned PlayStation exclusives again, if you remember that conversation. He's like, but what are some of the PC exclusives? And I think that like MMOs as a whole, even if they're not your type of thing, are just this kind of area that we haven't really seen on consoles, right? A little bit with Destiny, but it's like this untapped world, which, every time I talk to somebody who gets a PC, they're like, holy crap, I didn't realize there were literally like 50 MMOs out there. And a lot of them just feel like good single player experiences. Because I wanted to read very quickly, if I can find it here on our website, we had somebody kind of asking John about what the best MMOs are. I think they were new to the PC and they kind of had already played World of Warcraft, but they said, what are some other MMOs that maybe are good or that they should try?
Are you pulling it up?
Well, I'm asking you.
Oh.
I answered them. I see that you didn't. So I thought maybe you could give an answer while I read mine.
Well, I think about the MMOs I've tried. Like, Asheron's Call and
Okay, you're reaching really far back.
EverQuest. No, but I played like the Star Trek one, like on the Xbox. I didn't dig that at all.
Right.
The Lord of the Rings one.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of old.
I mean, people like the Star Trek one, though, don't they?
I don't think so. I think they like the Final Fantasy one. So let me just kind of read you his question and answer.
Okay,
What do John, Michelle, and the community think is the best MMO outside of World of Warcraft? Tried some of them and they all seem bad compared. So am I playing the wrong ones? And I said I've liked a bunch, Rift, Elder Scrolls Online, but my pick would be the new Star Wars MMO. The story for each class is some of the best I've ever played. Once again, it ends up feeling like a much better single player experience than an MMO, and that is what World of Warcraft does the best, the end game, the actual MMO-ness, but they totally fail at the interesting quest, the good story, the good single-player aspects. I hear the new Final Fantasy MMO was good too. So, I know it's kind of a genre that we don't often hear that much about in the console realm, but I still think that, like I said, MMOs have turned into some of like the best single-player sort of good BioWare feel, like the Star Wars MMO. You feel like you're playing a Mass Effect game. And I know we have some Mass Effect news later, but I'm just going to kind of tease it here because it goes with what I'm saying. I think Mass Effect Andromeda now is down to $20. They canceled the DLC for it, I believe. And it was kind of like, I don't know, like I think back to the older Mass Effect games where they were like some of the best single player experiences in games I ever had. But then I think about the Star Wars MMO, which was made by BioWare, I believe, where it has that same sort of conversation kind of arc that you can do. And there's different classes in the game. So whether you're a Jedi, whether you're, a Sith, each class has their own like single story adventure story to go on that you don't do with other people. And it's like literally like the best single player experience I've had, I think, since the older Mass Effect games. So, if you hear MMO and you just want to die, don't necessarily think of them that way because, I said that about Elder Scrolls game too, but not so much with Warcraft though. Warcraft quests are weak, right? There are a lot of fetch quests, right? Go get me 10 flowers. Yes. It's
but
like.
But the thing is, though, about a lot of those quests, though, like you said, it's a good single-player experience. Like, you can get lost in that. Like, you can, like, next thing you know, like, 3 hours has gone by, and you're just playing by yourself doing quests.
Mundane, tedious, like, there's a lot of stuff to do in World of Warcraft, right? Yes. But the thing with WoW is they do the end game really well. They have PvP, they have dungeons, they have raids. No other MMO really has the raids that they do in the boss battles and that crap. But if you're not into that, let's say you don't like playing with other people, you're not in a guild, you don't care about any of that shit. Yeah, there's something for solo players still, but I'm talking about that actual single player experience where you feel like, wow, these quests are great. The story is great. You guys got to check out the Star Wars MMO. I think it's free now, and just play through the class. Like I feel like one you can do it like for free with all the different classes. Just play through just the class storyline rather. Yeah, class. Just do that. Don't even like mess with the other quests, like because it's just so good. And so I think that MMOs get a bad sort of flavor. But I've been playing WoW like crazy. Like I said, I played probably hours every day this last week, and there's something about holidays that make me go to it too because they were having the Fire Festival is going on right now, so it's like every time there's a holiday I check in with this game, and it's kind of one of those things that, like I said, every time I go on I forget that holy shit, this shit's still going on. This is still like, I don't know, a force to be reckoned with.
It doesn't go away.
It's not go away. It's just I'm wondering when it's going to die. And it's weird that it's never made any transition at all into the console realm. Like, even if there was like a WoW Lite, even Hearthstone, why didn't they ever put that on consoles? I just don't get it. Because, like, I know a lot of Blizzard's such a powerhouse, but it's mostly in the PC world. I know people think that the console, they think of Overwatch and things like that. But, Hearthstone being on mobile, I'm just wondering why they never took it at all into the console realm. So I think consoles are missing out. I think it is Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah. It's not the older Star Wars one. It's the new Star Wars MMO.
The Old Republic.
It's free.
We played that.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I don't remember playing with you.
Yeah, we
played
did.
Some of like starter quests. But like I said, give it a chance until you do like the class quest that you get. I think they might start at level 10. Give it a chance until then. And I'm telling you, if you like BioWare stuff, you're going to absolutely be blown away. Gingerbread Man said, WoW is still a wonderful place to be. Yeah, I mean, it has its flaws. I think they fuck PvP up and stuff, but it's still one of the, I mean, it's going to go down as like one of the best games of all time, and that's just the way it is. So been playing a ton of that, and I am drinking just some Hawaiian Punch tonight, John. It's kind of boring. It's not very exciting.
Well, it's red.
It's red, but I envy you every week talking about these different interesting beers you like, and I just don't get into that crap. So it's like, what flavor of sugar water am I drinking tonight? And it's Hawaiian Punch. So hopefully, was your gaming week better? Because I'll tell you, mine was just kind of like nothing new happened. Nothing new came out.
I know, and by the way, I'm thinking about what you're saying about World of Warcraft, though, like how it will go down as the best game ever. Like I like thinking about like, what is the end game for? I mean, does that ever go away? I mean, does that game go? Does it like? Is there a point in time where it says, okay, this version of World of Warcraft is now dead, and now here's version this?
I want them to do that so bad.
You do.
But they just keep updating the engine incrementally that it seems like they're not. I would love them to scrap it all and make a WoW 2. But I feel like they tried to do that with Titan, and then it failed, and Overwatch became, not the new shooter MMO. And now they've completely dumped it. It's obviously Destiny 2 is going to be Blizzard Activision's new shooter MMO.
Right.
That's never going to happen. We might see some single-player solo campaigns to Overwatch, but it seems like there's just going to be their new MMO they're pumping energy into. It might be Destiny 2. Now, as far as Warcraft, as far as I know, they have at least the next 2 expansions planned. That's what I've already heard. So they are already looking that far ahead. This game's going to be around for another 5-10 years. Like, where am I going to be, like 50 years old?
I know, but
it's absolutely insane.
But the thing is, though, I like that, though, because that to me mirrors a lot what we've been talking about with the Xbox, where it never goes away, right? The platform never goes away. It just keeps getting incrementally better, and so the old stuff goes forward. It gets, we update the graphics. You could still play it on the new system, and in a way, World of Warcraft has been doing that all along. Like they've never.
It's such a unique experience for me. Like people have asked me, "What's your favorite kind of game of all time?" And even though I've been into other games like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that, there's something about Warcraft because it sticks with you for all those years of your life. Because I've been playing for like a decade, right? You know that like what other game does that?
No,
like
none.
You just keep updating. You keep playing. It's like that character you build. It's like a really unique experience, and that's why I think it's cracked for some people. I know some of my friends were playing Black Desert Online, and they said it was pretty decent. You can get it now on the Steam sale for $7.99, but basically, like if you haven't played WoW, I would say don't mess with any of the Mmos. Just try WoW. And if you are new building a PC, which a lot of people are right now, I know. Like I just read some story that not to push the PC gaming thing, but that it just like basically tripled the amount of users on Steam or some shit over the past couple of years compared to the years before. So people reach out to me and say, what are the PC exclusives? Just start with an MMO. I bet you've never done it since you've been in console. Just check it out. It's a unique experience that I
agree.
To me.
And the thing is,
so John,
I've dabbled in other MMOs, and to me, World of Warcraft it's too right. It's too good. Yeah. Like it feels right. Like and every time I play another
it's not the MMO for everybody. I think like Star Wars: The Old Republic could be more of that single player experience that people are looking for.
We did play that, by the way, and it was okay. It was cool,
we did some quests. I don't think we played it. I'm talking about like the actual going through your storyline for your class, right? That's what I'm recommending to people. So it's just really interesting. So I know, John, you tried the Zelda DLC. Do you want to talk about that? Because it kind of fits with what I was saying with how Warcraft and Blizzard, they're good at kind of directing you. You had a little bit of a different experience, right?
Okay, I'm going to tell you something here. Okay, actually, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
And the thing is, what I'm trying to figure out here, okay, is how much of what I'm about to say is because I'm a moron, okay, and how much what I'm about to say is because Nintendo's a moron, right? And so,
or a bit of both.
Like, I want to ask you a serious question here, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so when you get DLC content for The Witcher,
right,
or Elder Scrolls or whatever,
right.
Skyrim, whatever, when you get that DLC, right? Explain to me how that DLC works for you and your current game.
So usually what would happen is a quest would pop up on your screen, the second you log into the game, it would say, hey, go here. In World of Warcraft, they often, do that. Also in The Witcher, you would go to where you would get your quest at like the signboard, at the post board, and there'd be a new quest there at the post board, and a quest would start. In Elder Scrolls, a quest would start when you logged in. So everything is usually triggered by like some new area, and you can usually go do it whether you've passed the game or whether you're level 5.
Right.
No matter what, you can always go do it. And that's been my experience with DLC in games.
Okay, so I want to tell you that I really wrote this DLC thing off, like on Zelda.
Okay.
Like first of all, I there's never.
So what is the name of this DLC? Is it? It's just called the Breath of the Wild Expansion Pass. Is that what it's called?
It's called It's called the Wild DLC Trial of the Sword. Okay, and by the way, this is a quote unquote season pass. Okay,
so it doesn't last forever. It's going to die out after a year.
No. It's not. It's an expansion pass, okay? It's not a season pass. And you pay $20 and you get the 2 DLC packs, okay? And the thing is, I don't believe, unless I'm wrong, that I've ever done anything like this for a Zelda game. I know that they pulled this kind of shenanigans with like Mario Kart and shit on the Wii U and stuff. So like the whole idea of DLC in Nintendo is to me a weird foreign world, right? And obviously that's where everything's going. So Nintendo wants to get in on this, and it's $20. You get this you get this pass, you get all the DLC, it's 2 things. But
you didn't really know what you were getting. You were kind of confused, right?
I wasn't okay, so I really wrote this off. I said, I'm not getting this. Why would I buy the DLC when I haven't even come close to finishing the game? Like, so why would I get the DLC? And then I started reading about all of it and what you get, and then I started coming around, right? Because essentially you get 4 different things, okay? You get the Master mode, which is a hard mode, okay? And that doesn't interest me at all. That's something you would do after you finish the game. You go back and play the game. It's harder, okay?
Yes.
And then
that should be free, by the way.
I know. And then you get something
like it is in Diablo.
You get something called the Hero's Path, right? Which adds a new feature to the game that basically adds a green line on the map that shows everywhere you've gone. Right?
And you have to pay for that?
It comes with the DLC, yes. It's a feature that probably should have been, actually absolutely should have been in the game already. And
yes, as was the first thing you mentioned, just being the game gets harder once you pass it. These are all things that are...
Right. Yeah. So this Hero's Path thing was actually intriguing to me because, yes, I'd love to look at the map and see the line, everywhere you go, everywhere you walk, it shows a green line. So
hey guys, your map now works right after you pay $20.
Right. So, it's weird, too, that this is part of the fucking DLC, right? It's like, we made the map better. And the thing is, it doesn't make the map better for the DLC content. It makes the map better for the main fucking game that I already bought, right?
That should have been a free update.
Yes. So it adds that thing, the Hero's Path, and then it adds these quests for the Travel Medallion, the Korok Mask, the Tingle, Majora's Mask, the Phantom Mask, the Midna Outfit locations. So it adds these little side quest things that are in the map somewhere, right? And then it also like puts like some random treasure chests in the overworld somewhere, right?
Okay.
But the thing that had me the most excited about all of this was the Trial of the Sword. Okay.
Yes.
Which is this little side mode. Right? That is almost like a horde mode where you're battling.
And I heard if you pass it, you can unlock a sword that never breaks.
So this is what was appealing to me, Michelle. Okay, so
basically they're selling you a sword that never breaks for $20.
But you have to beat this, which I guess is very hard. Okay, so the Trial of the Sword is the name for what was initially announced as the Cave of Trials. It's a feature that was also present in Zelda games like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. And basically, under the guise of the Cave of Ordeals and the basically it's an endless fucking horde mode, right? And you just keep going through this thing, baddies after baddies, levels after levels, and eventually you get to the end and you get the Master Sword, and it's a Master Sword that cannot break, right?
Once again, that should have been an item in the game that you got for beating it on hard mode, which should have been free.
But here's the part that was not clear to me, okay?
Okay.
I can't fucking play this mode at all. I can't fucking touch it. I can't do anything with it until I get the Master Sword, and I have to have 13 hearts and all this shit. Basically, you have to have the Master Sword unlocked before you can play the trial, okay? And then once you have, and you also have to have like 13 hearts or something. So
Funko says it wasn't a pussification DLC, John. They expect you to be past the first section of the map.
Well, you know what?
Do you say to that?
Fuck off, because you know what? I paid $20 for a fucking goddamn green line. That's all I fucking got out of this. And I'm just telling you right now, I don't buy this unless you are very far into the game. Because and the thing is, they don't make this clear at all. They're advertising this thing with this mode where if you pass this mode, you get the Master Sword, blah blah blah, all these riches.
There's no reason the trial has to only be if you've done this, this, and this. That does go against like a lot of I'd say most, if not all of the DLC I've done for games.
Yeah. But the thing is, you can't tell me that I didn't put any time into the game. I'm like 15, 20 hours into the game. Don't you think that some of the DLC would fucking apply to me at this point? Right?
Well, John, you haven't done a dungeon yet. That was my goal for you because I did a dungeon and
I
was like,
this is
not a dungeon, and
but
you haven't even done a dungeon yet.
This game rewards you for playing it any way you want, though. You could spend 80...
Well, that's what they say, yeah.
You could spend 80 hours all you want doing whatever the fuck you want before you even...
says John equals casual gamer. But wait, isn't Nintendo basically for the casual gamer? Shouldn't their DLC cater to all types? It just seems odd that they basically sold you something that you can't even use. I'm just saying, like, for me, I prefer DLC that you can pop in at any time, which is usually after you pass the game or while you're playing it.
Well, okay, the thing is, though, I really didn't want this because I figured that I would not be able to do any of this shit because I didn't finish the game, so why would I want the DLC? But the more I read them...
You get some cool gear and you wanted it.
Yes. So I don't know.
So it was confusing to you too, because like once you started, they didn't tell you kind of how to start this.
No, there's nothing.
Why didn't something pop up on your screen then say, hey, will you purchase DLC? If you want to access it, here's a checklist of things you have to do. One, you know what I mean? Like it should have popped up as a quest with like check marks for you to knock them off. Like that's what I have issue with. Okay, maybe you didn't do the things that they wanted you to do, but there was no indication anywhere of how to start this, how to do this.
There's nothing. And the thing is, the chat, and the thing is, listen, full of fucking disclosure, I didn't really research this before I played the game, which is what I do all the time.
Should you have to research something?
No.
Isn't part of designing a game and making it player friendly to once you start buy something to have it appear in game and make sense?
It made no fucking sense. And the thing is, if it wasn't for the people in the chat when I was streaming, and again, I didn't feel obligated to fucking read 10,000 blogs before I did this, right? Like, I'm in there, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Where is it, right? Where is the DLC I just bought? And all I could find was a fucking green map, lines on the fucking goddamn map. And then everyone's like, oh, you need 13 hearts. You need to go to the Deku Tree. You need to do all this before you can play the DLC. And I'm sorry, it's fucking shit. I just like.
Rest said, who needed DLC for Zelda? The game was big enough. I don't know. I think it might have been something I was interested in because I loved my first couple of hours with Zelda, the experience of this big, beautiful world. But then once I did the dungeons, I kind of was let down. I didn't want to fight for it anymore. But I would have loved to try an endless horde mode or something different, right?
Well, that's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a new mode, a new fucking mode, endless horde mode that's impossible to finish. You can access it anytime, and when you finally beat this, because it's so fucking hard, we're gonna give you the fucking Master Sword. That's what I thought I was getting.
You probably already played the game, but I guess then they expect you to play the game again, except it's harder this time around. See, features like that I'm used to being built into a game already. The map should work from the start, and you should be able to play through on hard mode if you want, right?
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, hard mode should have been just fucking in there anyway.
It should have been. So you kind of feel, like I said, I don't like their direction with forcing you to have to do this other stuff first. What I really take issue with is the fact that there was no indication that you needed to do that without you having to research blogs online first. Now, I like doing stuff like that, but that's definitely not for everybody.
No, I agree. And the thing is, you know what, guys? The way Nintendo was marketing this, though, they didn't say, oh, requires 13 hearts, the Master Sword to be unlocked, all this shit before you can experience any of this. Like, that's not part of the marketing message.
That's bad design for DLC, though. That would have been like, hard mode or something like that. Or if it just seems weird that they're considering that DLC, and basically a lot of people probably can't do it.
Right. So DLC pack adds the Trial of the Sword, the Master Mode, Hero's Path Mode.
Is there any star asterisk anywhere you must have done XYZ?
No. And the thing is, I know fully well that you guys are thinking that, well, you're...
very John, you can expand your heart count by doing shrines.
What's that?
But why should you have to?
Right.
And if he turns the game on, shouldn't it tell him, hey, you need to do this before you can do it?
Here's what Nintendo says, literally. Trial of the Sword. When you get to a certain sacred location, you could take on the new Trial of the Sword challenge. Face an onslaught of enemies, one wave after another. Link starts the challenge without any equipment or weapons. When all the enemies are defeated, Link proceeds to the next. Clear all the trials, and the power of the Master Sword will be awakened and will always be in its glowing, powered-up state while usable. There's no asterisk. It doesn't say you must have played 30.
They're not telling you have to have 13 hearts. See, normally when you do something like that, like if I buy the Diablo expansion, like it says level, or Warcraft, it'll say, hey, this is level 85 to 100. I say, okay, obviously I have to get to 85. They did not tell you anyway, this is for 13 hearts and above.
Yes, it doesn't say anything like that. It just says this is a new fucking mode. It's a horde mode. Why would a fucking horde mode require all this shit anyway?
You have to be a master to play master mode, Namco says.
It's whatever. It's the fucking, like, the whole point of getting the DLC is this Trial of the Sword mode, which is nothing more than a fucking horde mode, which, by the way, is a standard mode in a lot of games, right? So why wouldn't it be some little side option in the menu? Which
I don't get the complaint is DLC is extra content, but it was $20 and they did not tell me couldn't play it. I feel your pain, John. I just don't like that. Like I said, it wasn't mentioned anywhere. If that was the direction they wanted to go, fine. But, like, they should tell you before you buy it, like, hey, you have to be a certain level to access this. Or
it should say something like asterisk requires 13 hearts and 35 hours of gameplay to access, or something like that, right?
Right.
There's just no fucking indication of that.
And once you enter the game, they should say, hey, you have some new content. If you want to access it, do this and this and this. They just kind of like, it was like you downloaded it and went into oblivion.
Right. It's like, okay, well, thanks for buying that. You can play that maybe next year. Come back to us. It's here waiting for you if you need it.
I also saw that when you started playing Zelda again, John.
What's that?
That you started playing Zelda again, immediately you started swearing at the broken skeleton arms that were breaking and shit like that. And now this makes me want to go listen to our Zelda Rap that we did a little while ago. If you've never heard that, check it out on our YouTube page.
This is a fucking broken weapon simulator because
it is.
Like, I've been trying to get to fucking Zora's goddamn fucking world of water madness, and it's all my fucking weapons are broken, goddammit. And the thing is, I'm fighting these fucking lizard bastards, and I've got like sticks and.
This is all the shit you defended before when you said you loved the game. It was the best. It was a 10 of 10. It's the best game ever made, and I was telling you why why it wasn't for me. And I gave you the simple goal of do a dungeon, and every time you turn the game on, you start swearing at it and turn it off.
Right.
Punko says, John, I've seen you play. You wouldn't last 2 minutes in a trial.
Well, then, you know what? Let me fucking try the...
It's too hardcore. It's too hardcore for you.
That's right. They're protecting me.
Now. Well, maybe. I mean, have they become, like, the non-casual game? Like, is that what this is now? It's Zelda is for hardcore players only. Is that...
No, I don't think so. I want to play the trial. Let me play the fucking trial.
You can't. You're not ready for it. You can't handle the truth, John. I don't think you can do the trial.
I want to do the trial. Just give me a button that says fucking trial. Like, let me click on it and play fucking Endless Hordes. That's all I wanted.
At your own difficulty level.
What's that?
I don't get it. Like, I don't get why you can't do it no matter what point you are in the game. John was holding sticks and passing up good spears because his inventory was full. The Kart trials are fun. Too bad John will never... Well, people are really down on you, John.
I know.
They're really down on you about this game. I think Zelda has turned its back on you.
I guess so. I'm not giving up on it, though.
You know, get back to me when you do a dungeon.
I will. I mean, I'm on my way to Zora's Domain. I'm looking forward to getting there fucking finally.
When I see it.
There's goddamn guys with electric fucking arrows and shit. And then, by the way, before you go into Zora's Domain, some dude says, "Hey, man, here's some potion, man. You know, this potion's gonna protect you from electricity." It doesn't fucking work. It doesn't protect you. You drink it, you get hit by a fucking arrow, you're dead.
Oh my God, John.
It doesn't work.
I don't think you're gonna be able to do the dungeons. At least not the one I did.
Oh,
I think it was probably a little too complicated for you.
That's right.
I think Zelda has abandoned you. It's time for you to admit that you're not a Nintendo guy. You're not a Zelda guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just not your scene.
That's not my... It is my scene, goddammit. I have Zelda puppets down here.
It's not your scene.
What else? So, well, I didn't play what I wanted to play. I was going to play America's Army today for 4th of July.
Okay.
And we ended up playing PlayerUnknown Battleground because I was like, I was racking my brain, like, what is the most patriotic game I've ever played?
Yes.
Well, it's that one. It's America. It's a goddamn game that our U.S. government made.
That's right. I remember that. It came out in 2015.
It came out a lot longer than that. Because
yeah, well, on Steam it did.
I mean, I was playing America's Army when I lived in Illinois, and that's like 13, 14 years ago, right?
It looks kind of good.
Yeah, I think we should play it because when I used to play it a long time ago, I mean, it was very much like old school Ghost Recon. Yeah. And I don't know if it still is, but I mean, I remember way back when, like, just these massive maps where you would lay down in the grass for like a half hour, and then you'd finally see someone on the map, and almost like Arma. But what you're playing right now, though, looks more like Rainbow Six, doesn't it?
Yeah. So for those who don't know, it says Proving Grounds is the official game of the U.S. Army and part of the highly acclaimed America's Army game series. Oh, apparently America's Army Proving Grounds is what I'm looking at then. There's another version of the game that's free. The free military game focuses on small unit tactical maneuvers and puts you to the test. So basically, yeah, I mean, the Army made this game to train soldiers, right, and to try to get hype going. And
yeah, I think the game's actually made by soldiers, too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so that's Proving Grounds, though. Is that different than the one that was just plain old? So this is small unit tactics.
Yeah, I don't know if that one is on Steam because I'm looking at America's Army and I don't see it. I see America's Army Proving Grounds.
Right. Like, what
But
happened
it's
to the
free as
original?
well, and it came out in 2015. So, I mean, and people seem to like it. Very realistic, best FPS.
But where's, like, the original old school one that was, like, Ghost Recon? It was not
don't
called...
know.
That one came out, like, in 2005 or something.
I don't know.
So now...
Do they have it on consoles?
Looks like it's now just Proving Grounds.
Okay. Probably remastered it or something.
It just, to me, what you're showing there looks a lot like Ghost Recon. I mean, Rainbow Six, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's more of a tactical kind of fast-paced thing, and that's what it says about Proving Grounds. It says, like, this is, you know, smaller maps, smaller kind of things going on.
That's
so.
totally different than what was before.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't play it.
You could look at it.
It's free, though. I mean, what do you think about the American government making a video game?
I think it's cool. I don't know. What's wrong with it? I mean, it's less of the government, more the military, right?
I know, but
I
I'm
think
curious, like, what the rest of the world thinks of this. like, would you play like the France army? You know,
Well,
if they made a game
a
like
lot
this.
of the people, I mean, I've had some. Okay, I play a lot of video games, and I play a lot of games that you play online with people, and I've met tons of soldiers who are basically, you know, in Afghanistan, overseas. They're playing these games while they're there, and they're like, "This is my, 2 hours of downtime I get every day.
Right.
It's the only thing I can do to get my mind off this shit. I have fun. You know, I used to play WoW Arena with a guy, Mike, who was in the army, and I know some people that have played shooters, and I think that like it's just video games have become like part of soldiers' lives, right? It's kind of like a weird thing. And it's the shooters too is kind of a way, I don't know, it makes sense. It works to me. There probably were people like soldiers with a passion to make a game, and they probably got some funding, and the result was kind of probably not just drumming up kind of excitement for the army, like, hey, join the army. It was maybe, a campaign like that, but I don't know. It's kind of made by soldiers, and it lets you kind of feel like, hey, is this realistic? Am I learning some of the different tactics? That
Right. When the 100-point thing pops up, that's very realistic.
Yes. Gingerbread Man says my cousin worked on that game.
Yeah, I think a lot of soldiers did. I mean, B. Mulligan posted a link or some data there that said that there's been like 41 different versions of the game.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like I said, they have the older one, the new one they did in 2015. I'm sure we might see another version of it, kind of upgraded again for the future.
Yeah, it looks cool. I want to play that, though. We should try that this week. It is patriotic.
Yes.
So, all right, that's it. And then, other than that, I didn't play shit. I was gonna play that. I gotta play that rhythm game. What's that?
Yeah, I wanted you to try that.
I know.
And stream it.
I will.
Not to make a fool out of you, but just to kind of. I want you to beat my scores because a couple of people have it, and I've been trying to. I'm trying to get the top score on every song because I get competitive with rhythm games.
Oh,
John.
really?
With guitar, didn't you used to as well?
Yeah,
like
I did.
Kind of look at other people's scores. Like, I'll take that bitch down. I'll do this shit on hard.
You know what stupid game I've been playing on my phone, by the way? Is that stupid Mario jump game, whatever, Mario Run.
Oh, I played so much of that.
I know.
We had that competition going on.
We did, and
I played a bit then.
The thing is, I don't have the paid version on my Android. I bought it on an iPad, and I keep playing like the first 4 levels over and over again. And the thing is, I fucking hate it. I don't even think it's a good game, but it's just like,
at the time, you argued with us and said it was worth $10. I love how you're coming back now.
Oh, shut up! I never argued that it was worth $10.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So, anyway,
now we find out you hate Zelda and Mario.
I hate them all. Fuck Nintendo.
Retro shit. We learned that last week.
Yep.
All right, let's play the voicemail of our winner of our free VGO year of premium. We selected him randomly from a couple of entries, but I actually like his answer, John. Play his voicemail, and then I'll explain why.
All right, here we go. 520-FEEL VGO.
Hey, VGO. I want my $2. I want my $2. Hey, I can't pay for your app because this freaking paper bill every fucking month, if I don't pay him, he comes after me.
All right, cut off.
Hey, $80. And I don't have it.
Is that the wrong voicemail you played?
I can't afford your app. I'm sorry. But that's just the... I want my $2. All right, bye.
So that's a Better Off Dead reference.
That's right. I'm glad you knew that because anybody who makes a Better Off Dead reference deserves to win in my book. That Paperboy, I want my $2.
$2.
Cracked me up as a kid. And I love Better Off.
But then he had like skis on his bike and stuff. It got a little far-fetched.
Crazy again. But it was the 80s. Okay? Shit had to get crazy. And if you've never seen this movie, it's a John Cusack movie. And it's a classic. A little French girl foreign exchange student. I mean, it's kind of in the vein of 16 Candles and
You
all
think
those
so?
John Hughes. Yeah, it was one. I watched it so many times as a kid.
I did too. I mean, I remember like it kind of went off
Here's
the rails at the end with the skiing though.
It's badass. There's this little bastard kid on a bike. I want my
Yeah.
$2.
$2.
$2 anymore. Congratulations. I have texted you a code so you can get a free year of Video Game Outsiders Premium, and you can access that on our app, or you can access it on our website off vgo.libsyn.com. So if you hate apps and you want to listen to the premium content, you can still get it on a PC or a browser, or however you want to do it. So congratulations. Enjoy it on us for a year. I want my $2.
Congrats.
Congrats.
All right, why don't we take like a 5-minute break?
Okay, we'll be right back. Oh my god, I love that fat guy in that.
Oh yeah. Was
My
he?
God.
Was he? No.
Was he in Porky's? No. Such a good movie. The winner's name, I don't know if he has a name. We're just going to call him Colorado because that's where he's from.
All right, I'm playing a song. I'm just playing anything.
So John said he was going to play a song and didn't play a song. Is that what's happening? The music is pissing Jake's dog off, John. Are you back?
Fine, hang on. All right, hang on, guys. All right. Share it. Hello?
Yep,
Share it. Okay.
I did. The quality is shit again?
Yeah.
Then it's got to be your new interface.
It's internet. Well, it has nothing to do with the interface.
Your internet should be fixed by now.
I'm getting yellow bars on Skype again. Maybe we gotta try doing this 720. I don't know.
There's no reason not to, as long as you're capturing the audio at a higher quality when we upload it.
Right.
But in the future.
All right. So let me see if Matt's on here. Yep. Calling him right now. Are you there? Hello? It's going to shit.
Your internet sucks dick.
I've been doing this podcast for fucking 12 years. Do you really think that my internet is worse than it was 12 years ago?
Have you been doing video?
Something's clearly
for the past
going
12
on.
years? No.
Matt, are you there?
No, he's disconnected, I think.
Fucking train wreck.
Okay. Yeah, because I know last week, like every other word I was saying was being cut off.
I know, and it was happening at the end of the conversation today.
Yeah.
And I have the yellow fucking bars.
Well, I just don't want our podcast quality to go to shit. You know, it's one thing if the few people listening live have to deal with it, but if we're pumping out...
Well, then maybe we have to stop...
Word.
Maybe we have to go back to doing it the way we did.
No, lower the quality. I mean, there's no reason why it should be doing this. I know your internet's not the best, but...
Well, I mean, I'm capturing your video, and then I'm uploading it, so...
Right.
So we're doing two things at once.
Right, but we had no issues until you got the new interface. We'd been doing it for like 4 weeks without issues.
I know, but that's totally not even remotely related. Let me
Could
see.
be handling and how the... This is Matt McCarthy, guys. This is John's Killscreen's band member, his best friend.
All right, I just lowered the bit rate. Hang on.
A lot of error since we called him, too. Skype is just shitty.
Matt.
Hey, what's up?
All right, cool.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, boop. All right, so why don't we move on? And by the way, Matt McCarthy is here, Michelle.
Good. It's nice to hear you, Matt. I always enjoy when you join John on his John show on the app.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I heard you say that. I appreciate
You
it.
guys get into some good conversation. So what have you been playing? And for those of you who don't know, Matt is John's best friend, Switchy's bud, and Killscreen's band member.
And lover.
Oh, that's right. And lover.
Nice.
So, Matt, what's going on? By the way, you were in Canada on the 4th of July? How dare you?
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it was just, you know, it was a good chance for like a, 4-day weekend and go somewhere new. So, yeah, I was in Quebec City and then Montreal, and it was good times. So,
And what did you do? Did you drink espressos in tiny little cups, or what did you do exactly there?
Well,
It sounds
a lot of
fancy.
beers. There was actually, in Montreal, there was a jazz fest going on. I mean, there was a ton of stuff going on. It was just one of those things where, walking around Montreal, it's like, oh, crap, there's this giant jazz festival in town, and they blocked off,
Did they have tiny
a huge
cigarettes?
part of the city for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just getting used to, whenever I talk to somebody, they say like, bonjour, hello. And depending on which way, if you say bonjour, they start rattling off stuff in French.
Oh, yes.
So I have no idea what they're saying, but I like to do that and then get confused and try to say stuff to them in French, but I have no French accent, so they just look at me funny.
We cannot escape this Canada taint that comes on our show.
That is funny, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
Canada.
It's always in Canada. So what are you playing, even though you were traveling a bit? What have we kind of missed? Or I know you have VR. Do you still play that, or?
I haven't played it in a while, actually, but I keep meaning to get back to it.
Oh, really? It's one of those kind of devices. It's like, oh, I have this, but I'm not really using it.
Right.
Well, it is amazing, but yeah, I mean, no, you got to put the thing on and get a little sweaty, and
and surprise tickling happens.
No, John, you do have to come over and play it, though.
I know.
Yes, please make him and record it.
It's ridiculous that you won't, you know?
Yes, I mean, John, you're a video game journalist, okay?
Yeah, that's right,
You pride
Michelle.
yourself on covering things, John, and your best friend has a VR machine, and you want to go check it out. You have the Vive, right? Or the Oculus, I forget.
Yeah, the Vive.
Okay, so go check out the Vive, do a review for our show. And what's holding you back, John? Are you really that scared of the surprise tickling?
I am a little scared of surprise tickling. Matt, can you guarantee? I mean, can you, like, I would like at least two other people in the room telling me where everybody is at all times.
Yeah.
What we could do is we could either lock you
Oh my God.
and into a room where, you know, you only can let people in or out, or maybe we could rig up a system where there's an external camera.
Are there
that's
safe
showing
words?
you yourself?
Yes.
No, if we could put a little picture-in-picture inside the VR world where you can see yourself and that you're safe.
Yes.
You know, maybe that would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been playing, though, since you haven't been doing VR?
Well, you caught me at a bad time because I have been busy as heck and traveling and everything else crazy with work stuff. But I've just been playing. This is going to sound stupid, but Zelda on the Switch still, because what happened is my son, you know, he's 10 and he started playing Zelda. This was his first real one, you know, playing by himself, and he got overwhelmed kind of fast, you know, and
kind of like John, yeah.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
relate.
But the thing is, he kind of after watching me play for a bit, he kind of regrouped and decided to try it again. So he started a new file completely from scratch, and I think, you know, started watching some YouTube videos and whatnot to get strategies and feel more confident, I guess. But he ended up going through. He just beat the game like last week. So, I mean, and with pretty much no help from me, you know.
Yeah.
I was determined to not help him and make him figure everything out. So I've been playing super slow because I didn't want to be ahead of him and have him not, you know what I mean? I wanted him to feel like he was doing it first and everything. So.
Right.
So I've probably played the game a lot of hours. I don't, you know, whatever, 70 hours or something, but I've only defeated, I think I'm on the third Divine Beast, but I spent a ton of time just, you know, wandering around and doing whatever because I'm killing time.
But do you like doing the whatever?
Or before him, you know?
Yeah.
I do, actually, yeah. So, I don't know. It's still between that and Mario Kart, which, you know, those are still pretty much the only things on there. I did pick up, you know, the Street Fighter remaster thing, and that's pretty cool.
That's
Street
stupid,
Fighter
Matt.
2, whatever it is. No, it's good to have.
A lot of people picked that up, though.
I know they did.
Everybody we talked to bought that.
I know they did because there's nothing on the goddamn thing, right? So everyone's buying that. And but the thing is, what makes me mad about that game is that it's nothing more than a port from the arcade. So why is it priced the way it is when the other ports from the arcade, like the Neo Geo stuff, is like $8? Why was that not $8?
Well, they added some weird motion control thing.
Oh, wow.
Wait a minute, guys. Are you going to buy this thing? I'm looking at the Legend of Zelda Link hooded coat over here at ThinkGeek for $160.
I think so.
It looks like a green Ku Klux Klan member's outfit.
Yeah.
This is not attractive.
That would come in handy for robbing a gas station, I think.
Or like some really
look at the
unexpected
inside
green.
with the Zelda crest
Yeah,
in there.
it's like pea green. It does not look cool. I get a kick out of some of these things I try to sell on ThinkGeek to connect with video games. Okay, continue. So you're still loving Zelda. Now, do you play on Xbox or PlayStation, or I forget? What do you have, or is it both?
Yeah, I got the PS4, so between that and PC, that, you know, keeps me busy to where I haven't needed an Xbox One yet. So, are
you excited for the new Uncharted game, or is that not kind of your cup of tea? That's coming in a month.
You know what? I'm like so far behind on Uncharted. I think I mean I haven't played Uncharted 4, so.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I do like those games. I have, you know, I think I beat 2 of them.
Yep.
And I feel like I should probably play 4 if there's another one coming.
Yeah, I want to
4.
play 4. Did you like it?
I think 4 is better than 2 and 3. I don't know. To me,
do.
I think it's better. There was a little bit of a combat pacing issue in the older ones for me, where it was just those endless hordes of guys coming at you.
Yes.
And I think they could have stepped back on it a little bit. John, I think you tried 4 very briefly.
I did. I'm in the very beginning where it's like Harry Potter shit, with the fucking brothers and shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, I got a PS4. That's one of the best exclusives. I really should be spending more time with it. And
you got Neo as well on the PS4, which is a good
Neo's
PlayStation
great.
exclusive. Don't shit your pants if you're out there listening. But I don't know. Like, it seems like you haven't been playing your PlayStation 4 much.
Well, I mean, truth be told, I just want to come down here and do PC shit. I mean, that's where I am right now. And like, I boot up the Xbox. The thing is, I have like this, like, I'm conditioned to boot the Xbox first, right? Just because I've had it the longest. And I always go to the Xbox. I look around in the store. I do like the download activity where I download the free game of the month. But I never play it. I don't care about it. Like this month it was Watch Dogs, right? And I got mildly excited for a split second. I'm like, oh, it would be fun to go back to Watch Dogs, right? And then I install it, and then I'm like, nah, I don't really want to play that. And then it's like I just come down here and do whatever on the PC, Why
don't you bring your PlayStation down there too? Because I think streaming has become such a big deal to you.
Yeah.
That like streaming, the ease of streaming. Like I know you've been playing the MLB The Show though on PlayStation.
Yes, that's like literally the only game like I want to play and stream in the living room is the show. I haven't done it a lot lately, but I mean for a while there I was playing it multiple times a week. I really do like the show. Matt, you never got into baseball shit, did you?
No. I've been playing. Well, I mean I don't play the PS4 all that much these days, mostly because of the PC. Ever since I got the SteamLink. I have the SteamLink, through hardwired Ethernet, whatnot, so that I have and my PC is just always on. I never turn it off.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm in the living room, I can boot up the PS4 or I can just switch to the Steam input and it's right there,
Yeah, we should mention that it's on sale right now for $15 on the Steam
It's stupid. Like, how is that?
It's
so worth it.
Ridiculous.
How is it 15? I mean, it's crazy. Like, everybody
they can
should
take
have
a
that.
loss on that. Yeah, they can take a loss on that because it worked for me. I use Steam way more,
Well, here's the thing though. It can't do 4K. So we just want to say that if you're looking to stream to a 4K TV, you need the NVIDIA one, which is a bit more expensive. But if you're just doing 1080p and you don't really care, for $15, this is like a no-brainer. And the interesting news story I saw was that Samsung TVs have a new SteamLink streaming app that works shockingly well. That was a PC Gamer article I'm looking at here. It's built right into new Samsung TVs, and this guy tested it. He said that it works like really well, and if you're wired at, like you said, that you're not going to notice any like latency issues. This is major, right?
Yes. Samsung TV has a Steam streaming app.
Yes, built in.
Built right into
Michelle,
it. So
listen, this is huge. Are we going to start seeing Steam
taking over televisions now? They are now like the console in your TV, which is they have a leg up on Xbox and PlayStation there, right?
Michelle, this is a big deal, honestly. I mean, listen.
Really? Is it a big deal? I don't think it's a big deal. You still have to have the PC to be able to play.
I understand that, but the thing is, okay, so you have the app on your Samsung TV. It's planting that seed, though. Like it's like, oh, maybe I should get a gaming PC, right?
Or I could you know what? I could stream from my laptop. Maybe some of these games aren't graphically intensive. Like say the Mechtromicon, or frick how you pronounce it, right? I stream that on my server P upstairs. It doesn't even have a graphics card on it, but it's just like one of those light games, like or Hearthstone that you
Hearthstone, right? Exactly, right.
All of a sudden, your TV is now a gaming machine. This is kind of crazy. It's weird to see Samsung getting into it. And could LG be to follow, or Vizio, right? Are we going to start seeing now TVs competing to get this on it?
Well, what's happening?
Maybe eventually they'll be streaming not from your PC but from a server farm, right?
Yes.
Right from your that could be some new service that's coming, like, hey, stream from a Steam computer. That's what NVIDIA has with their service. They offer it. So maybe eventually this app is going to be built in your TV and you're going to be streaming from some supercomputer,
and Michelle,
over at Valve's offices.
How is that any different than Netflix? It's fucking Netflix.
It's not. And I kind of like this. Even though, I already have a Steam Link, or I basically use my other PCs to do Steam streaming, which is basically a Steam Link. I like that it's coming to TVs for people, because a lot of people are leery, even for $15. I know we tried to talk Matt Bradford into it because he had a PC. Like, nah, I don't think I want it. And we're like, are you crazy? You have a gaming PC. You want a game in your living room. It's $15. Like, a lot of people are scared of it for some reason. They feel like they don't need it. They don't want it. But like, you can really have that couch experience with your PC, and I think that's what we're seeing here with the demand for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works so well. I've just been blown away at how well it works. So.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, I'm actually really curious about this whole Valve move, and I think that Valve is quietly like gaining ground here, and PC gaming is becoming bigger than console gaming. I think Microsoft and Sony are fucked, and I think that the whole idea of an OS is going to go away too. So
yeah, it's funny. You think like Microsoft should be behind this Steam doing this and pushing for this and advertising it and whatever, because you're going to sell more PCs. But then again, if you like you say, if you extend that out further, it eventually involves people not buying PCs.
Right, because Matt, what's the OS
to their TV from a server?
The OS on the TV is not Windows, right? It's some whatever.
Right.
So
Samsung doesn't have to say, "Hey, here's Windows Store on our machine." That would be awkward. But Valve is like a third part, kind of on the outskirts, right? They're not Microsoft. They're nobody, but they're just kind of like doing their own thing. It's easy to get their app on there. They're like a Netflix, like you said. You're never going to turn on your Vizio TV and see your Xbox app in there, because that would be very weird. Then there would have to be a PlayStation app and the Windows 10 store. I feel like that they've kind of found this niche here, and we're going to start seeing this pop up more. So I don't know if console gaming is fucked, but I find this very interesting as we move to the future.
Because in the future, Michelle, we're not going to need fucking boxes that have hardware in them. We're just not going to. Everything's going to be software and marketplace driven, right? And that's where
the idea of having to download your game.
Right. It's not going to be here.
Streaming your game just like you're streaming shows on Netflix.
Yes.
That's where we're going.
Right. And Microsoft is really trying to get in front of that, because like we've been talking about, they're building the store, they're building the account. It's game for Windows, it's crossplay, it's cross-buy, it's everything. Putting all these games in your account because they're building up your account. And Sony's not doing that necessarily, but Steam has been doing that for 15 years. And so they're way ahead here with the people with accounts. And Matt, and you and I share our libraries, and I've got all your games and vice versa. So Valve's in a really good position for this.
Yeah. And as we move forward, though, they're going to have to update the SteamLink to do 4K, I think, because right now, like I said, if you want to do 4K HDR, which is where even console gamers are trying to go now with the PS4 Pro and Xbox One, you do have to get the NVIDIA stream. It comes with a controller, the NVIDIA Shield, and it's I've looked at it before because I wanted to try it myself.
You
but
should.
It's just one of those things I haven't done. I think I might.
Can you stream like 4K over Ethernet even? I mean, I guess if it's Cat 6, I guess, is that the difference?
You can do 4K HDR, they claim, or 1080p if you choose. And you can also stream like all Android games, I guess, like if you just want to play like mindless little games. Or you also have the option to stream off an NVIDIA computer through a service. So they give you kind of three options. You can either use your own computer, or let's say you're somebody that can't afford to build a computer. You can cloud game. And it's getting to the point now, pending on your internet, where people are claiming that it's actually so much better than it used to be with OnLive and all that crap. So, maybe not at this moment, but when we look to the future of gaming, like look at Netflix, we know it's going to that sort of model. It has to be. We just don't know when. And so they're kind of
absolutely going that way.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I mean, I don't know. I just love that the SteamLink is in the Samsung TVs.
For $15, SteamLink is cheap, and maybe that's why, because it's becoming an app now. What if it's going to be available on like every television, every smart TV? You can download the app, right?
Get the SteamLink app on your PS4.
Exactly. Well, oh my God, could you imagine that? That would be crazy.
But that would never happen, though. They would cock block that big time, right?
You think they would?
Oh God, yeah. Listen,
I
think.
What if either the Xbox or Sony got the Steam app? What if only one of them could get it?
But how would that benefit
that? Would be an edge for them.
Because what's going to happen though is it's kind of like how Xbox One right now is conflicted. Like they allow the Amazon app on there, the video app, but you cannot make a purchase on the Xbox One. Right? You have to go on the Amazon website on your computer, make the purchase, and then stream the movie on the Xbox One. So that's kind of the concession that Microsoft made with Amazon, because on the 360 you could make purchases. So could they do something like that where they say, okay, Steam, we'll let you on here, but you can't make any purchases. You can just only access your account and stream. Could that happen? Would they do that though?
I think they might, and I think Jake was asking about the controllers with his SteamLink. You do not have to use the Steam controller, and just like the NVIDIA thing, you do not have to use the NVIDIA controller. They support like any controller. So
yeah, I just use Xbox 360.
I use the 360 controllers. Yep. I
do use the Steam controller. It's just a little bit. It's a little awkward. It's a little too big and weird. But for certain games, it actually does work pretty well. Like I use it for when I'm doing Dolphin or something. The Dolphin emulator. You set that up as a Steam app, and then it runs over SteamLink, and that's pretty sweet.
So that's the thing. Now you're talking about emulators. Are you going to pick up, and we talked about it last week, but are you interested in like the retro stuff, or do you just want to like get a Raspberry Pi, or do you just want to emulate off your PC?
Yeah, I want to emulate from the PC, and I do have a Raspberry Pi set up on a separate TV. So like, yeah, I just don't have any interest in those little things that they keep coming out with.
Do you think John's crazy for buying them for hundreds of dollars?
Not hundreds of dollars.
Yes, but no, because he has a YouTube channel and he can talk about that and give them away and stuff. But otherwise, yes.
Okay. Just wanted to
But the
check.
thing is, though, I asked the question last week, though. Why do people want those devices when there's a gazillion videos on YouTube, including my own, showing you how to make a RetroPie, right? So, it keeps going back to the Nintendo juice, right? And the fact that
oh my god,
the thing is, I'm not convinced about that because I tried the NES one and there was a noticeable input lag. Like when you press the button,
I've heard this.
Jump happens like a tenth of a second later, and it's really annoying. Like,
but that has to do with the HDMI, not necessarily the game.
I know. I don't care what it has to do with. If this thing is $60 and it does that, it's not as good as my $35 Raspberry Pi.
But Raspberry Pi would have the same input lag on HDMI, though.
I don't think so. I heard the emulation
I use it on
is bad.
HDMI though, and I have no problem.
Yeah. See, I think what Matt is saying is right because I had heard from some people and I didn't really
know.
No,
I've heard it too.
Tried it. They said the emulation is shit on it and it's way better on it. So I mean,
I don't know if I'd
say it's shit, but there's definitely an input lag depending on how you have it hooked up, or maybe too long an HDMI cable or something. But my experience was
it could be the TV too,
right.
though. Like I have TV mode on my TV. Yeah, I mean gaming mode. You know, so like there's different modes on the TVs for faster refresh and shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So your mileage may vary.
Yeah, that could have been it. Yeah.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm serious. I don't know. The situation where I used it and I had that lag, I don't know if that TV had that on or not.
The gaming mode shit?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real thing with gaming in general. It's just that the TVs are slower to draw than the CRTs were.
Well, that's why also between TVs and monitors, people wonder why like a 4K monitor is more expensive than a 4K TV. Well, the panel is completely different. The refresh rating is different. So it's just a different beast. And TVs, though, are trying to come around to that, too, especially with OLEDs. They have much faster refresh rates. So
yeah, the first time I bought a big TV, an LED, whatever, and I started realizing I had input lag. I was like, oh, no, what have I done? Then I started looking into it and found out about the game mode.
Right.
You really notice it, certain things, like I was playing, whatever, Zen Pinball or something, and that's where I first noticed it, because you really notice, you expect that to be instantaneous when you click that the flipper goes, so you really see it. And then I'm like, wow, so if I'm shooting that much later than the other guy in Call of Duty, that's going to affect, you're going to miss the shot that much more often.
And that might affect console users too. So if you're out there, check for a game mode on your TV.
You've got to check that.
I know my Samsung has it. I think it's pretty standard. You know where I noticed the delay the most, or actually where I realized I had a delay at all was with because I have an external audio amp. So my sound was lagging. I mean, or the sound was before the video.
Right.
So you were hearing it real time from sound, but the video is input lag. Yep.
Yeah. So it's actually a big mess trying to get all that to line up because my receiver, you could set an audio delay. The TV has a gaming mode, and you're trying to line everything up by like a millisecond. And then you really noticed it on the Wii U because the Wii U had a speaker that was synced with the receiver. Matt, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then you would realize that the Wii U is faster than your receiver or vice versa, and everything's like kind of echoing and shit. Mm-hmm. It's actually a mess.
Let me read this.
It is kind of a mess, yeah.
I just wanted to read this before I forget. We got something from Adam, and the subject was Guardian Con. He said, I know it's late, but I listened to your podcast Wednesday mornings on my way to work. I wanted to let you know of an awesome event we as a Destiny community have put on. There's a 7-day marathon stream profiting St. Jude's Research Hospital. I wanted to share because it has shown the power of the community. Just wanted to reach out. If you can fit it in as a plug for your show, that would be awesome. Cheers and love the content, Adam. And I bring this up not only just to plug what was going on, but also, Matt, I wanted to ask you about Destiny 2. Are you interested in this? Are you in on this? Or are you did you play Destiny 1? What's your thought?
No, the Destiny 1 I only played for a little bit, and
you don't think you're going to try it again?
It didn't do anything for me. I mean, it was cool, but I don't know. I didn't get into it. So it's not really for me, but it does sound like, I mean, hearing... what's his name?
Jose?
yes, Jose, talk about it now and then. I mean, he makes it sound fun.
He made it
so.
sound like the best game ever.
He does
And
make
the
it
thing is,
sound
like,
fun.
I know. Having not played the first, I'm just trying to talk to everybody who has, and I'm like, okay, am I going to like this? Because I don't want to hype myself up for it, but being more in the MMO mode right now, I'm like I said, I've never done a shooter MMO, and I'm like, I want to do this.
But
Now,
Michelle, my hope is this, though, is that
Well,
it's not like the first game. That's my hope. Is that
that's my hope, yes.
right?
you played Division. What do you mean you never played a shooter MMO? Isn't that
I played it. That's not an MMO, is it? Was it an
Kinda?
MMO or open world?
Yeah.
Well, that
I
one
don't-
zone was
I
a
hope
MMO.
if
yeah,
it
you go in the dark zone or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it feels like
I love
Division,
Division.
I'm not gonna like it.
Man, I really miss playing Division. Like, I got so
Division
fucking...
was awesome.
I
don't-
know
Oh
it
my
was.
God.
Like,
I don't know
why...
why you hate it so much,
I hated
Michelle.
it.
It was awesome.
The shooting was so freaking clunky and
Nah,
just
it really
weird
wa-
and
it really
arcade.
wasn't.
It felt like shit.
But
I
isn't
mean,
it
it's
how
got
it...
a bad review. Nobody liked it. I'm not crazy. Doesn't it have like poor reviews?
So what? You can't review it yourself? I mean, come on.
No,
it was
I'm
fun.
saying like it's not an odd concept to dislike it. I don't think it was well received. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, you could make up your own mind, though. John's right.
I have my own mind, you fucking dick. I'm saying it's not an odd concept to not have liked it. I hated it the second I played it. Then John forced me to play it again. I played it again. That was before I knew how it was being received. I'm just saying the concept that
It's got a 79 on Metacritic. That's not that
Okay.
bad. Really?
I don't know. I thought I saw it somewhere like really low, but I think everybody I played with like hated it too. So to hear you guys like it, it's an interesting angle, but I don't think
It's not an
I don't
interesting
know.
angle. It was
I don't
actually a
think
lot
the
of
majority
fun.
of people loved it and said it was a great
But
game.
I
is all I'm
guarantee
saying.
you there's a core group of people that are still playing it right now that are totally into it.
Yeah.
So,
Jason says, Michelle, opinion on Destiny coming out on PC in October and console in September. I mean, that's not a big difference. And I know that console users are getting the beta like a month early or something like that. That doesn't bother me at all. Like
this is
tiny
Bungie's
exclusives-
Sony
Yeah,
dick sucking.
Sony's making these deals, right? They want to, and it just doesn't bother me
But-
unless it's
or-
like a year later or something.
Or is it Bungie
Yeah, who
saying
cares what a month?
it's Bungie saying fuck you to Microsoft, bottom line.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Hmm.
Those guys are butthurt. They left Microsoft to go with Sony. That's what's going on. It's fuck you
Well, we got
guys.
somebody tweeting us. I don't remember what it was, but they were saying that kind of Sony seems like the butthurt of the bunch lately. And now I'm not saying this is what they were saying, but they were saying like they refuse to get on board playing multiplayer. They're kind of a couple of other things with they're not being very clear about some of the timed exclusives about when they're getting them, and they're trying to they believed that they were trying to strong arm with Microsoft with like making Destiny run at 30 FPS because it can only do that on the PS4 Pro. I mean, do you think Sony's going to feel threatened by the new Xbox? I mean, because there's a price drop coming that I
yes,
know
there is.
you put
I
in the
posted that.
news.
Yeah.
Well, I think Sony's been the one on top. It's just like when the 360 was on top, and and Sony couldn't catch up to that.
Yeah.
Xbox, Microsoft started getting cocky and doing stupid things, right? So
Right.
it's just switched. That's all.
But Michelle,
PS4
yeah, go
Pro
ahead.
price drop could be huge problem for Xbox One release. John, how much are they lowering it down to?
Well, they don't know. They're guessing though. They're just saying though, if Sony drops the price of the PlayStation 4 during Christmas, which they naturally would do, just with the
Yeah, they
cycle
will.
with the cycle of things, right? So
Right.
if the PlayStation Pro is $100 cheaper than the Xbox One X,
Right.
that's a big problem actually for Microsoft, I think.
Yeah, at the end of the day, is it going to come down to price, or is it going to come down to
Yes.
which has the exclusives you want?
It kind of did on the launch. Xbox One versus PS4.
That was
I mean,
a
I feel
mess,
like
though, with the camera. I feel like they pushed everything but gaming. It was a real misstep, but maybe it was just the price. Maybe for most people, when they're looking to buy something for their kids themselves, like they're like, well, what's cheaper? They're going to both do the same thing, right?
yeah. I mean, I think people looked at them as pretty equivalent, and it's
Yeah.
$100 difference. So.
But how can you compare two things that aren't equivalent? Because I
People
know the
don't
Xbox
know
One-
that though. We read those articles before that nobody knows what the fuck a PlayStation 4 Pro even is. Like most
Yeah.
normal people on the street, if
But
you,
maybe it's not for you then go get the Xbox One S versus the normal PlayStation. Compare those prices, right? Don't go get the PS4 Pro in the Xbox One X if you don't know what it is and you don't have a 4K TV. Like, you know what I mean? Aren't those people buying the budget models anyway? Those people that don't have a lot of money or only care about money. This is for like a premium market. I think it's in a response to PC gaming, if anything, not to each other. Didn't Sony come out and say that? Like, hey, we made the PS4 Pro in response to PC gaming, not because we're threatened by Microsoft?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying,
But
like,
do you think they're like confusing things too much by having so many different models? I mean, the point of the consoles is supposed to be simpler than PC, and
it's
now
supposed to be simple, but there's two modes of each right now, right? One 1080p and one 4K, which is basically what I think they're going for. And I just think it's an awkward time for console users because people, like, I can imagine wondering, like, do I upgrade to this, or when's the new, like, this is a 0.5 console, right? When's the PS5 coming? Do we have any idea? Or is this, $400, $500 device I'm buying, is that going to be antiquated again in a year? So there used to be kind of a set timeline, right? For every console, every couple of years, there was a console.
That's totally out the window, though. I mean, there's no console cycle anymore. I'm telling you, and Microsoft's trying to get rid of that cycle. They're just getting rid of it.
So what do you think? They're going to just be another 0.5? It's just always going to be a 0.5?
There's no point anything. It's just that...
So the games always are backwards compatible, always work for the back. They're going for the PC model.
That's where we're going.
Yeah, and I think you're right.
Yeah, no. I guess that makes sense. If you don't have to... If you think of it as you don't have to buy every version that comes out, which is what it used to be. It used to be, they'd come out 8 years apart and you'd buy each one. You had to. I mean, it was a huge difference. But now it's just like, you buy whatever the current one is when you're ready.
Right.
Technology is moving so fast that you buy what you can afford or what you need. I think that's what it's going to be. It's the PC model, and I think it's good. It might sound scary to console users.
It's a great model.
It might feel, it's really good because now it means you don't have to buy the same game 10 times unless you're a Nintendo user.
But it used to be, though, the old model is that the console dies and the games that were on it die, and they never live again, right? Like if you go back to like
and
Sega,
they get remastered,
and then they
that's
get
the new model is they all get remastered.
Yeah,
but that's the new model that like Nintendo's holding on to, but that's not the future, clearly, right? And so the idea of a system dying, the majority of the games that were on it dying, and you never play them again, I think that idea is just over. It's just over.
I agree.
And the thing is, Xbox and the Xbox One X is proving that, and that's Microsoft's first step towards this. They're saying, "Oh, look, we have this new badass fucking console," and in the past, it would have had all these exclusives and games that only played on it, like being announced at the same time. And now they're not doing any of that. They're not talking about exclusives for that system. They're just saying that, these old games, we're going to update them. We're going to change the graphics and add new HD textures and 4K textures and all this shit. That's what they're talking about. That's the conversation here. So
yeah. I mean, when I really thought about it, and I was kind of down on it at first, the 0.5 stuff, I was like, this is stupid. Consoles are supposed to be easy. I feel bad for people that are console users and don't want to mess with any of this. Thinking about it more, I think, like you say, it's good for them. It's better because you don't have to worry about just, what you have being bad. It's that it's just going to perform like an older PC would compared to like the newest, latest, best PC, right? Because, my dad still has the old Xbox and I have the newer Xbox, and I could even see a difference there, the Xbox S versus the old one. Like their load times, or even if something feels really sluggish on the old one. And it's like, you know what, if you want to get in, I don't even think they sell it anymore. But
the first Xbox One. The
first Xbox One, yeah. So it's just...
that makes sense when you think of it from that perspective. Yeah. I think both the PlayStation and the Xbox are both like an x86 architecture now. So they have moved to a more standard thing that they're going to be able to stick to for a really long time. And that's, a lot easier, more compatible with PC anyway, as far as porting and whatnot.
It's not going to happen.
So
with Nintendo,
it makes sense.
Right?
Like if you want to buy a console just once every 8 years, you can. Or if you want to buy it every 4 years, you can, and you'll get a better one every time, or every 2 years, So if these things are coming out every year, every 2 years, actually, that is better for everybody.
Do you think they're going to start cranking them out every 2 years, John?
Well, yeah, I kind of do. And the thing is, I don't think it impacts the games. That's the thing. Like I don't think it impacts the release of the games and what's exclusive and what's not. It's just like, what platform do you want? And Microsoft, I mean, their angle right now is we don't have the exclusives, but the shit's going to look better. The third-party stuff's going to look better over here. And that actually might be a pretty good position in the long run.
It would be a position if it actually made sense. Like what Destiny performing basically the same on both is not a good foot, or a couple other games they announced. I don't know. What's going to happen if somebody like Sony, who has the money behind them, does make these deals with these video game companies saying, you know what, no, I only want your game to perform as good as it can there as there. Then you're going to have two identical systems that end up coming out. Because Sony's next system then is going to be something else. It's going to be the true 4K machine instead of the checkerboard 4K. So I don't know, maybe we will start to see these things every 2 years. but Nintendo's never going to get on board with that, right? They're going to always be the console you have to purchase because they make so much money off people rebuying their old games, don't they?
Yeah, and Nintendo historically has proprietary software or whatever media, right? You know, like right now they have little tiny fucking cartridges, right?
Yeah.
And the time before, you know, it was DVDs, okay, not proprietary. But then, like, you know, the GameCube, the small little disc. I mean, like, historically, more often than not, they have weird fucking proprietary media, which basically locks the system in time, right?
Yeah.
Which I guess they do that on purpose, but, like, take something like the Switch. I mean, what are they going to do? Have a Blu-ray player in it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. So
No.
what are your options?
But Matt, though, that model, though, with those little cartridges, locks that system down forever, like for the rest of time. Because the next Switch
I guess they could do them as like mini SD cards or something, right?
Yeah.
Because the next Switch, though, or the next Nintendo console, if it ever happens, will not use that same little cartridge, right? So it's locked forever.
But that's, I mean, the next Nintendo cartridge is not going to have the same number of buttons on the controller or the same amount, you know, number of screens or microphones. Like their hardware is so different every time. I feel like that you can't really expect it to just say, oh, I'm going to take this card that worked in one Nintendo console and pop it in the next Nintendo console.
Well, John Blaze in the chat says, I think they're going to reset next time. Otherwise, the next system will have a big bottleneck by having to support the PS4 or Xbox.
But no, Michelle,
I see that angle too.
That's not true, though, because Microsoft just announced that they're going to up-res a lot of the old titles for the Xbox One X. That's going to be the fucking move, which is no different than Steam, than the developers supporting their older titles.
I mean, it either runs at, you know, 1080i and 30 frames a second, or it can run at 4K and 60p. I mean, it's completely scalable. I mean, we know that works because that works on PC, so why wouldn't they just do that for console?
Jake wonders if it's going to go virtual console, if that's the route for them. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't think they want to do that. Nintendo makes so much money off of their old games, keeping their old stuff relevant, like you said, with the cartridges, which I know we talked about with Ben Heck before. Like, it's so much a part of software sales, and if they went digital, nobody would buy anything anymore.
I know, but it's a real problem, though, because you never really own the games in the future. And the thing is, it's funny because, like, CC Games, whatever, is saying that you don't own the games because you don't have physical media, and really it's the opposite. It's the fucking opposite because
it totally is. Yeah,
Nintendo is actually making certain that you buy the game again in the future because the cartridge will never work again in the future, like on the next generation of consoles. So it's
and I don't want to have 100 consoles hooked up. That gets really annoying.
Right.
Yeah, I
Whereas,
agree.
like, you know, in the Steam library, I have games that are 15 years old. Like,
yeah, I do too.
Sometimes, and you run it, and it runs great, and it's running at 1080p, and you're like, what? You know, somehow the developer back then kind of planned ahead, and they're doing anti-aliasing, and they're scaling it up, and it looks actually pretty good.
Or they updated it, Matt. Or Matt, they updated it 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and they did an HD texture pack, and that game that you were running at 1024 by 768, you know, 15 years ago, is now running at 2560 by 1440.
Or the community did it, because apparently Zelda on CEMU now is now running 4K, and all you have to do is go get upload some cache or download some cache from other people they've figured it out now, where it's like 60 FPS 4K Zelda. So you've got community making texture packs, even if the developers don't. But that's something we're never going to see support on with the console. I think community support, I think, is going to be kind of limited. Now, John, tell me about the Xbox game sale 2017. I think they were trying to take away a little fluff from the Steam sale. Did you see anything that interests you? Or?
Well, you know what? It's funny because I did see this article and I shared that with you. And I'm trying to pull up the same thing, so I'm looking at it. So, like, I got all excited because it used to be that on the Xbox, you know, they had the summer of arcade and all that fun shit, and it was a really big deal to us. And on this podcast many years ago, I mean, Matt, you remember like the summer of arcade and shit on Xbox? That was exciting, right?
With me.
Yeah.
And I mean, this goes back to like the Major Nelson days when we actually cared about, you know, him and all that shit. But Michelle, I went through that whole fucking list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, but I guess I'd rather buy it on Steam, and it's probably less.
Steam sales are just ridiculous, though. I mean, the one that they've extended the summer sale, and you look at it. I mean, I just clicked on the first thing I saw, Tomb Raider collection. Okay, so Tomb Raider, which is not the current one, but the previous one, $4.99.
Right.
I mean, and then the one before that, Underworld, $1.79. I mean, it's just
like Shadow of Mordor, which is old, but if you want to play it to get ready for the new one coming, $4. Like, how do you beat that? You know, like a lot of people,
don't.
like, when do you that are building PCs, like, do it around a Steam sale and just like you'll never run out of games to play.
Watch Dogs $8.99, even though
for like I mean, like I said, even the Witcher franchise, 85% off if you've never touched that. You can get all of the games. I guess it's $10 for Witcher 3. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And the thing is, like, it kind of just takes the wind out of Microsoft's sales with this summer sale because, like, 95% of the stuff that's on sale is not an exclusive. And it's also in Steam. And it will look better on the PC. It's probably cheaper on the PC. It's like I don't even want to bother going through this list. It's like, I know the games I want to buy an Xbox One. Like,
I know.
Before they even come out. And so, like,
right.
to go back to this old library of garbage, like, I just don't care about it. Like, every game that sounds remotely interesting, I've already played or bought on either Xbox One or PC. And this was just a whole big, giant list of nothing for me. And what does that mean? like it's,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it makes me scared. Like, is it me? Is it the state of gaming? Like, there's nothing that makes me...
Here's what Brian says in the chat. Since I built a new gaming PC, I have no desire to buy an Xbox One. We're not alone. I know a lot of people listen to the show, and they're like, you guys talk about PC a lot. Just know that we're talking about PC games that are also on your console, so think of it that way. But we're just being honest, and this is something I hear from tons of people who do this. Once they build the gaming PC, they have couch setups too, like you're doing, Matt, with the Steam. Like, they don't want to go back to they don't want to do it. They only go there for the exclusives. That's like the only reason
But where are the fucking exclusives on this list, by the way?
Microsoft, they're not that many. I think, obviously, come on, you know, Sony has some good ones, but
I'm talking about the sale. About this sale in particular, you know.
Yes.
And the thing is, I really did go through the entire list on my Xbox. Like, I was willing to buy something. Like, I was like, okay, like, I was looking for that deal, like that one game that I forgot to look into or forgot to buy or whatever. It just kind of snuck past me. There was literally nothing.
Price to some of them.
Right.
Like, to see if they're actually, like, much more. 7 Days to Die, $15. Like, I think that's on Steam as well. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, I know. It's $9.99.
Yeah, so it's cheaper. It's $5 cheaper. So
it's significantly cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, with the games being cheaper, and then, like, I'm kind of with you, Michelle, as far as, like, loading times is a big deal to me.
Yeah, more than the graphics even. I mean,
when you're talking like a 2-minute loading time on a console game versus, 10 seconds on PC, it's just, that's night and day. It really makes a huge difference in my life.
Right. You're there to play games, not watch a black screen. Skyrim was what broke my back. I bought it first for Xbox, maybe 360, and I said, I can't take this. I went to PC, and, like, I never looked back after that. And it was more the load times, because people say to me, oh, I don't care about graphics. I don't care about FPS. Come on, you have to care about load times. John, what else did we want to talk about? I know Splinter Cell. You want to talk about this?
Yeah,
because I love Splinter Cell. We have heard a lot about it.
Well, we both love. I mean, we played a shitload of Splinter Cell back in the day.
Yes.
And the thing is, like, they kind of beat the series to death, much like they're doing to Assassin's Creed. And it just seemed like there was a Splinter Cell every fucking year. It started getting tired, and then they killed it. And so we haven't had a Splinter Cell in how long? Like, when was that, by the way?
Oh, my God. What, like 8 years ago or something?
Has it been that long, really?
Maybe 7. I don't know. Ubi CEO is interested, but the work is far from underway. At E3 2017, Ubisoft said that it's coming, but you have to wait on it. They haven't even started, basically. So I don't even want to think about this. But at least I know they haven't abandoned it.
To me, Splinter Cell was as good or as important as Assassin's Creed. And it's weird to me that they just kind of killed it silently. And am I wrong in thinking that? To
me, it was huge. I mean, maybe it was just in my world, but to me, Chaos Theory, Pandora Tomorrow, those 2 games are in my mind, and they are not going anywhere for the rest of my life. They are like a piece of gaming history. And to see, I know they changed Sam Fisher a little bit. They made him scruffy, homeless, millennial dude. And then it's like they forgot about him.
Right. I mean, they basically like Tony Hawked him in the last game.
Yes. And then like I want them to bring back the old school style. But you know what? I don't really know if I even want to care about this yet.
You don't want to care?
What if they bring it back and it sucks? And I don't know.
Is it too slow? I mean, compared to
what kids want these days and what people...
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But then again, PlayerUnknown's is not fast.
Yep.
That's slow in strategics, and that's really caught on.
This was the original game, I think, that kind of kicked off the whole, like, sharks versus divers, or like one overpowered monster in Evolve versus like 10 guys with guns. This was the original. You had two mercs versus, two spies. One guy, one was more powerful than the other. It was very different. I think like some of the concepts like were groundbreaking at the time, to kind of what multiplayer gaming really meant in a time when we mostly saw like these dumbed down shooters, right? But like now we're getting into this time, like you mentioned, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. We're seeing Battle Royale come to fruition again. And I know, John, you're looking at the new map here, a new desert map.
Yeah, so they're teasing.
I don't like it.
Well, the thing is, I don't
like cactus.
Okay.
Or cacti.
Oh, when's that coming out?
Well, here's the thing, Michelle. I'm looking at these screenshots, and
okay,
visually, I see more detail than I've seen before in these maps. However,
yes,
it still feels too much the same. I don't feel like I've really departed. Do you feel that way?
Well, I think we have departed a little bit.
You think so? But it's still flat, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it has a different feel. I mean, we want it to still be the same environment. Well, it's probably just the same area.
Look at the details.
Is it just a skin, or is it like, well,
there's cactus.
You go, what I mean is, I guess kind of like the flow of the game, where there's a bunch of buildings, and the way you go in the buildings and the sizes of the buildings and the groupings and whatnot, is if that's all kind of similar, then it's not going to feel any different. But if they change that up, then it'll be pretty
well,
different.
You want a map to feel like the same old experience, or do you want it to be like, oh, this is a close quarters map, now we're fighting inside buildings? Like, I don't know if they're going to do that. I know they're coming out with a zombie mode, which is going to be completely different, but I disagree with you, John. I think the map is like different enough. I'd love to see like a top-down view of it, which I don't know if they've released yet. Then I'll tell you like what I think of it, really, because looking at the military being its own little base in PUBG now, and all the different, like, I get more of the stream going through, because that, like, bridges in the game are like a big deal, right? Like, oh, I got to go over that bridge. I want to know like what intricacies we're going to see there. Like, okay, so it looks like a desert, like you said, Matt. It's just a skin, it's art, right? What are the bottlenecks? What are the choke points? What's going to change it there?
By the way, I got a new mouse mostly because of that game.
Oh, so does it have buttons on it?
Well, I got the one that John has, the Razer Mamba, something or other, with the chroma lights and all that stuff, because it looks cool. But I do really like the feel of it, and it's got a lot of extra buttons. And this, where you can like tweak the sensitivity up and down on the fly, is actually really useful for that game.
That mouse is the best mouse.
It's fun because I like the colors. I know I get made fun of all the time for it, but the Razer mice, although they are shitty and sometimes break for the newer models, I've heard, my older one hasn't. They're big. They're like comfortable. They're like the most.
Well, that's why I like it.
Like that's why I like them.
It feels really great. I feel accurate using it because of that.
I think it can really. I think, John, you said you felt like it made you a better player, but because you just feel like more responsive.
Well, no, because I had that SteelSeries mouse, and it was sleeker and it had a lower profile, and on PUBG, my hand was slipping off of it constantly, and this mouse, my hand does not fall off ever, and it's just like the perfect shape for me. It just fits right. And the thing is, man, I don't want like 7,000 buttons though. It just has enough extra buttons.
Yeah, I agree.
Because sometimes there's too many. But so Matt, you're playing a lot of PUBG. Okay.
Yes, I'm definitely liking that. I haven't been doing as well ever since they like reset the stats. I don't
yes, okay, thank you, because Michelle, listen, I know that you like to make fun of me whatever when we're playing, but the game seems like harder since the last patch. Am I fucking wrong?
Well, I think the circles are moving a little faster for some of them.
The hit detection though seems a little more like
why
generous.
It might be harder is because they've made it a lot easier to kill somebody, so you might be getting shot more because in the past people were having lag, or they were on older machines and they were having performance issues. So now you're kind of, because you've had a good machine, you're kind of, the people without a good machine are probably a little more on level with you, and you're playing against people that are a bit better. Whereas before you might have had a performance edge, because they not only did server stuff, they said they also did a lot of client side optimization.
Yeah, they're going to make it run as well as they could on older
I'm telling
PCs.
you,
exactly.
I think the hit detection is a little overzealous right now.
And let's be real though. What? Oh, I don't think so. Most people have older computers. Like most people gaming, like believe it or not, like have like they're on like old computers, old PCs, and they're playing that game.
Is it wrong that I think it's cool if people with better PCs get an advantage?
No, but I think you still do if you have like a higher refresh rating monitor. And that's the thing with PC gaming, right? I mean, if you have a 185 hertz monitor and you're playing against somebody with a 60 hertz monitor, you have an advantage. You do.
Right. Yeah.
And they have to allow that to happen. That's why I found it very odd with Overwatch trying to clamp down on ultra wides when they allow, different hertz and refresh ratings going on. And they allow all sorts of other things. Like you said, mice with buttons and DPI settings, right? What I find interesting, though, is the developer said he wants Xbox users to be able to play with PC users.
No.
There's
that
no way.
can't happen.
It
That
can't.
just can't happen. It can't happen. And I mentioned this really quickly. BioWare shoots down Andromeda DLC rumors, but they said there is no single-player DLC reportedly planned. So how can they not have DLC for this game? I mean, that just goes to show you, already being $20, which I mentioned before, you kind of feel like this was a bomb, this game? Because I know I kind of
I think it was a bomb. I think it was
It kind
pan.
of feels like it bombed.
It was pan fucking instantly, I think, by everybody, including
Yeah.
us and you.
Well, I kept trying to go back to it. I was like, oh, I'm going to finish this. And I couldn't take it anymore. It got a little better, but it never hit a point where I wanted to play it. And it kind of sad. I feel like they ruined kind of a series, like in my mind. Like, the Mass Effect trilogy was one of those.
Is it because like
up
the
there.
B team made it or something? What is it?
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, the fact that they're just abandoning, like, nope, there's not going to be anything for this. And, here it's $20. Just kind of, let's forget about it and move on. Just kind of weird.
Yeah. So
It's kind
so
of-
do you
kind of
guys
let
think that Microsoft's HoloLens, does that have legs, or is the future VR, not AR?
Well, I think AR, didn't Pokemon kind of prove that AR was more interesting because it's more easily to do on a phone? Although
Yeah.
you can do VR on phones, but AR seems a little easier for phones. And I think
that's a tough call. I think VR is more compelling right now. I mean,
Yep.
you wouldn't know because you haven't tried a Vive or a Rift, but
Right.
Once you do, I mean, it is compelling, but it's like you do have to put this thing on your head and be
Yes.
completely, So, I mean, in the future, once AR has come of age or whatever, it probably is going to be, the thing that takes over, really.
Yeah.
Because I just found it interesting that there was this show in Europe, right? And Ubisoft showed off 2 previously unrevealed HoloLens game prototypes. And I just feel like we've really moved on from this AR HoloLens conversation. And
Right.
like this, to me, came out of left field because I just kind of thought there's just nothing to say about what Microsoft's doing behind the scenes.
Well, they said they were going to hold off on VR till it was wireless, right? So they kind of were focusing on AR. But then
Right.
they showed Minecraft, that demonstration last year, not this year, and they were kind of like, I was like, wow, that looks cool, but then nothing.
That was all fake, though. That was vapor. That was just a complete demo. I mean, but it was
what
fake
came
too.
of
I mean,
it?
they like piped in that video. None of that was. I mean, I don't know.
I know,
yeah,
but that's a demonstration. Of
the
what
demonstration.
we're
It showed
looking
you how cool it could be 10 years
Right.
from now.
But yet this year they make no mention of it. Like, hey, I guess it was kind of like just at the time, just to sort of like fluff their peacock feathers, saying, we can do this too. Maybe, we have our own thing. And it was just kind of awkward because we never saw it again.
Yeah, I think a lot of times that it's hard to put much stock in that. The big companies do tend to bust out stuff like that they've had in their labs just to be like, hey, we innovate too. Check out the cool stuff we're doing, just so that people don't kind of. It's more of a marketing thing, so you're not viewing them as some big dinosaur company that's not innovating.
Yes.
All right, let's do a quick voicemail. By the way, if you guys want to send us a voicemail, 520-FEEL-VGO. Write that number down. Pull over first, of course. It's 520-FEEL-VGO. You guys can leave us a comment, a question, whatever. 520-FEEL-VGO.
Hey, what up, VGO? I just had a couple things. First of all, Fortnite coming out July 21st. I don't know if you guys seen anything about that or what you thought about that game. Should be pretty alright. And the second game is...
All right, so Fortnite. Michelle, I don't know anything about this. Tell me.
Fortnite. I've been hearing a lot about this.
It's a fork game?
Fortnite. F-O-R-T-N-I-T-E.
It's like a kitchen simulator? What is this?
Fortnite is from Epic Games, the guys who did Paragon. And I guess it's going to be out for everything but the Switch, I believe.
Stop it. Okay, first of all,
what?
I know what you're doing. This is like your new thing.
No,
everything but the Switch.
No. Hold on. Hold on. Let me start again. It's out for PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and that. Should I mention all 3 things, or should I just say everything but the Switch?
No, I think.
How would you like me to deliver?
I think that you're trying to be you're trying to wrap that up in efficiency, but it's actually a dig.
Oh my God. It's not. I'm honestly not trying to make it a dig. When I dig on Nintendo,
everything but the Switch. All right.
That's
so,
because I'm trying to say it's available. I believe it's available everywhere.
All right, so this
Unless-
is called Fork Night, and it's a kitchen.
It's even on the Mac actually.
Is it on the Mac? So there you go. Everything but the Switch, I believe.
Yeah.
Don't go to it. But yeah, this game, I don't really know much about it. I guess it for like you can get like a starter pack.
Oh, this is epic, huh?
What
Yeah.
is it? Is it a Team Fortress 2 thing?
It
or
looks
what?
like it. Sure
a little
does.
bit. Yeah, it's a character class based thing. I mean, look at this robot. This is right out of what's
That-
the game I'm thinking of? It's cell
Portal?
shading.
Oh.
Oh, but no, begins with a B.
The
I
one
can't-
where the guy's shooting himself in the head on the cover.
Little Borderlands. I feel like
Yeah,
it has
Borderlands.
it has this so kind of vibe. But so you get a 4-day head start if you pre-order, and this is a game I might try. Early access is July 25th, so
That's
I think,
soon, actually.
yeah. You know, I guess I don't know if I'll pre-order and do the early start, but
Is this Overwatchy?
I'm checking out the trailer right here. He's not the first person to mention this game. I mean, the art, like I said, is kind of kiddie. I want to see some gameplay stuff.
Well,
It's
it's
like just
Michelle,
monsters building.
everything's
crafting.
going in this Overwatch Team Fortress look, by the way.
It's like that chunky. It almost looks like a mobile app art, though.
Mm.
Overwatch kind of
Doesn't
does
it?
that, though.
This Overwatch is way more polished than this. I don't know.
But Team
This looks
Fortress
kind-
is
This
like
looks
that.
like what's that PC game where you there's like orcs coming
Yeah,
and
Must Die. It does.
yeah, orcs must die, where you've got to set up traps and you're defending the area, working as a team. Like this looks like that.
This looks like you build your fort, obviously, and protect it, maybe from just beasts and shit. I don't know.
Oh, I don't
mean,
like this. It's NPCs. Forget it. I'm out.
Oh my god, NPCs.
What? I don't want to play against hordes of stupid monsters. Forget that.
But you're always fighting hordes and shit. I don't know. Sea of Thieves is the same thing, right? And you're interested in that. You're going around on a boat and fighting hordes of shit.
I mean, it looks like zombie mode, Call of Duty zombie mode.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that in general,
Weapons. This
Yeah,
to me it looks like
does-
it's free to play.
it looks generic.
That's like the vibe I
I
get
don't like
from
it.
it. But you know what? I know some people who are excited for it, so I might give it a look. I might review it. I'm going with an open mind. I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of over this art, personally.
Yeah, it's worth a try though, because just if it is like Orcs Must Die, which it does
Yeah.
kind of look like, that game is a lot of fun.
It is fun. It's like there's a free version now that I think is probably worth checking out. All right, so before we go, I think, do we have any other news, or Matt, was there any news you saw this week that you're just kind of been slow and shitty, right?
Yeah, I got nothing.
There's really been like nothing interesting going on.
No, there
John,
hasn't.
is
It's been
did you go
shitty.
through everything?
You know, I want to talk about that. What was that
What?
game that we played, Michelle? We played the beta, that epic game with the Unreal Engine, Cliffy's new game.
Oh, Lawbreakers. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
having an open beta right now.
There's a new beta for that, and
Yeah. You know, they changed it from being a free-to-play game now. It's going to actually cost money. And that is not on everything but the Switch, John. It's actually only on PC and PlayStation.
Okay.
It's not on Xbox.
All right, so
it's
you-
PlayStation.
you and I played that beta, right?
Yes.
And it was supposed to be a big deal, blah, 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 Cliffy's new game, changing the world, whatever. And I was
Yeah.
kind of unimpressed with it, honestly. And but I keep hearing about it. I keep getting emails about it, you know. Like, is this one we should be looking at, or is it just not going to pan out? I don't know what to make of this game.
Well, I mean, it's a more raunchier Overwatch, right?
But what does it
That's the way
take,
to
though,
kind of
for
sum-
these
And I
games?
thought what it was going to be
Yeah.
was like free to play like Paladins, but it's not. Now they're going for a pay model. Well, look at it this way. It's another exclusive for PlayStation. Even though it's on PC, we don't really count that. I mean, if you're looking at over Microsoft, it's kind of it's weird to see like a competitive shooter or whatever
Right.
only going to one, because normally you see things like Call of Duty, Overwatch, whatever, they go to both. I don't know. People said it's better than the first alpha beta that we tried.
Yeah.
And we were talking to a couple of people in our Discord about it. And by the way, go join our Discord. It's on our website, videogameoutsiders.com. Check out the drop-down menu that says chat. And there's a lot of people in there playing games together and having good conversation. And they were saying that they were playing the beta and it's much improved. So, John, I
Really?
think we kind of tried at a very early stage.
We did.
I
It just
guess
seemed kind of
it's coming
generic.
out in August.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, like
There's a million more characters now, I think.
I know, but all these games with all these characters and all these styles, like everything's blurring together, just like that Fortnite game that you showed. Like it just feels like this is the only kind of game that's getting made now, right?
Right.
And
Well, the same thing we said with Battle Royales now. They're just shitting them out.
Right.
It's like people get on this kind of, they're going to make a bunch of them, then move on. Now we've moved to team-based shooters. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it will probably do somewhat well, but I don't think it's going to be, we're not going to see the success that Overwatch had or something like that. But I think that it's going to kind of have a market.
You do. But is the market more like the Gears of War, Quake, Unreal market? Because that's what I assumed going into it.
I don't know. I'm
Halo?
wondering how it's going to go over on PlayStation. Because I kind of feel like, you know, I kind of know on my PC how it's going to do. I'm wondering if like PlayStation users are going to get really into this. Or are they just going to be like, I don't like it. It sucks. I don't want it.
I don't know. Matt, did you try this or do you care about it?
No, I didn't try it though. It does look like a cross between Overwatch and Quake, though. I'd say it does feel more like Quake though.
Yes, I mean it's less about Overwatch is like very casual.
Well, with
very
Cliffy it would be Unreal.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Right?
It's very casual.
Yeah, it's like there's no like real skill involved. It's more about team composition and knowing when to hit your cue, right? This game was more about aim, right? It was more about kind of
Twitch, yeah.
Yeah, more twitchy, right? So I think it's going to have a different market. And it might be better for competitive gaming than Overwatch is because, like I said, Overwatch is very not good for esports. This might be a little more skill-based, right? So it could be interesting.
Right.
I think that was it. So thank you to everybody who did apply to be in our year of VGO Premium. And I want the caller to confirm with me that you did get that and the code works. So, of course, you can pick up our app on iOS and Android. You can find us during the week at riotcast.com and videogameoutsiders.com. And you can find us on not Twitch, on VGO. I'm sorry, YouTube. Why are we on so many places?
I don't know. We have too much shit going on.
We have too much shit going on. Do we abandon Twitch?
Well,
we're going to be not doing it there, right?
No,
we're everywhere. So we're not on Twitch right now. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/VGOcast.
Mixer.
Oh my God, not Mixer. At Coast of Michelle, Black Dog 7, and Matt.
Vine.
If people want to follow you, is it just kind of following what the kill screens are doing, or what do you want to give out to kind of your Twitter or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm McCarthy99 on Twitter, and yeah, I guess check out Kill Screens on SoundCloud, right?
Yes, and Amazon and iTunes and Google Play and Spotify.
Okay, you guys are a lot of places too. I can't take it though. VGO is too many places. We're on Reddit. Like that's why, like I don't know. We gotta kind of.
All right, where should we send them? Where's like the one single place? Probably Twitter, right?
Go to videogameoutsiders.com and check the links on
there
the
top. There you go. That's it. And you can choose where to go.
Go to our website and figure this shit out for yourself.
All right. So we're done, guys. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. And again, check out our app on iOS and Google Play. All right. We'll see you very soon. Video Game Outsiders, out.
Out. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.